Hello, this is Jeff, and in this video we're going to show you how to create your first tournament and some of the core functionality of Blind Valet. So from our poker club that we created in the last video, we're going to click on Create Tournament button and open up the dialog to create a tournament. Some new fields with this version. We can now enter the tournament name, the date and time of your tournament. So if we want to schedule this at a future time, we can do that. The Manage Payouts option, whether you want to have a buy-in for your tournament and use the payout calculator. We will use that for in this case. Let's put the buy-in at say 100 because we're high rollers. And manage players. This is a new option with this version that lets you manage player registration and seeding for your tournament. In this video, we're going to deselect this, show you some of the basic functionality, and in the next video, we'll talk about player registration and seeding. So now there's some of these. If you've used the previous version, these fields should look familiar. The number of players expected, let's put in 25. The desired duration of your tournament. This is the time, the actual time poker play that you want. That will not count breaks. Let's put in 6 hours. And the chipset that we want to use. So let's use a 25 as our smallest chip. And let's give it a starting stack of 10,000. In this case, we're going to use antes, and let's say it is a rebuy tournament. So rebuy chips and add-on chips. All these values, of course, are customizable. Here's the tournament we just created, and now we can open that up and modify any parameters we want. Again, all these parameters are based on the input you put in. A few extra fields here are the expected number of rebuys and the expected number of add-ons. We've made some recommended values just based on the number of players, but you can modify these. If you have maybe a crazy group that does a lot of rebuys, we can update this, and the blind structure will be recalculated as a function of that. You can see right now this blind structure field, there's a button at the top. This is a calculated mode, and this is manual edit mode. So as long as this is in calculated mode, changing these parameters on the right will impact your blind structure. You can add breaks. Let's add a 10-minute break after level 4. That sounds good. Maybe add another break after level 10. And this is still in auto-calculated mode, so if we change any parameters, the breaks will still stay where they were originally placed. Now let's say you want to tweak some of these parameters. For example, let's say we don't want the antes to start until after the first break. Now we can go into manual edit mode. We can edit in individual fields here, individual levels. We can delete levels we want. Maybe we say we don't really need this 250, 500 level. I'm going to delete this level, and so forth. So if we want to add a level, we can add it here. So this is a blind structure. Another new feature, since you've created your account, you can now save a blind structure as a template to use for future tournaments. High roller. So you can see we're on the blind structure tab right now. We can click on the payouts tab, and this will take us to our payout calculator. Again, you can tweak some of these if the values are different for you. Maybe you have cheaper add-ons to encourage people to do that. So you have a buy-in, rebuy cost, and add-on. And then this prize pool will be updated as the tournament goes on, and you indicate how many rebuys and add-ons have been taking place. Same functionality here, auto-calculated payouts and manual payouts. Same here for the places paid. Based on the number of players, 25. This is just a recommended number of places paid. Maybe you want to pay out a little bit deeper in your tournament. You can put this on 7, and now 7 places will be paid out, and the payouts are updated accordingly. But we can always tweak this as well. Maybe we say we definitely want there to be 1,000 for the first prize. So now you can see the total has gone over our current prize pool. And so we'll have to lower some of the other settings so that we get to the magic number. So let's make this 325, and now we're at 2500. We recommended these manual adjustments to be done typically after the rebuy period. So I'm going to put it back into auto calculate mode and undo my changes. So now this all looks good. We can go to the poker clock, and we have our blind structure listed here. We have some payouts. We have the number of players currently and the total signed up and the average stack. Here at the top is the total running time of the tournaments and the time until the next break. We click play and the tournament starts. Now, as we said in an introductory video, what many people like to do here is let the clock run on a computer hooked to a big screen, and you can connect to this same screen with your same account from your mobile device, and you can manage stopping and starting the clock, eliminating players, signaling rebuys, and so forth from your mobile device. So if we look here on the left, we have our controls right here on the clock to manage eliminating players and signaling rebuys. So as we click on rebuys, we can see that the average stack is going up. Add-ons is the same thing. And you can also see that the payout structure is changing here, because as it is auto-calculated, as we have more rebuys, more money in the pot, the same number of places are paid, but the payouts are changing. And as you eliminate players, you'll see that also the average stack is going up. So that's all for the basic functionality. In the next video, we'll show you how to use the new functionality of managing player registrations and seeding.